Kindly
Okay.
check the audio.
Sorry.
Kindly check the audio.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anal Maitre, Assistant Coordinator in Refresher Course in Environmental Science, organized by MMTC HRDC Gujarat University. Our resource person today is Dr. Nainesh Modi. He is an associate professor at Department of Botany, Bioinformatics and Climate Change Impacts Management, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. Please turn off your mics. Please turn off your mics. Okay, he has 30 years of teaching experience. He has guided 5 MPhil and 5 PhD students. He has published more than 80 research articles and papers, 56 books, one research project funded by DST, and one patent. He is a reviewer and board member in national and international journals. He is also a coordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Gujarat University, coordinator in 4 refresher courses, and Gujarat University Souvenir Store Vidyashri. Now I request Sir to deliver his lecture on the topic Women in the Shadow of Climate. Sir has yet to join. We will wait for him. Sir has joined now.
Hello everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
भाई इंटरनेट बंद है आई गयो और हमारा कल लेक्चर है यार ये बात नहीं। हाँ, थैंक શું શું 4:30 તો લેક્ચર જ છે પછી શું મોડે સુધી નોંધ કરો. હા હા ઓકે ઇન્સ્ટોલ છે. So, good afternoon, one and all.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir.
Okay, so I'm audible, right?
Definitely, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
hopefully,
Audible, sir.
yeah, please. Myself, Dr. Nainesh Modi, and along with my colleague Professor Bharat Maitre, we tried to provide a variety of lectures and from a variety of resource persons, right? So, hopefully, you all have enjoyed this refresher course. But if we have missed something, please forgive us. Today, one of our resource person who actually from a very good institution, but unfortunately he was not able to deliver this lecture. His topic was a little bit different. So in the morning, um, um, so suddenly I just prepared this presentation for you. Hopefully, you will all will just enjoy the presentation and lecture as it is prepared very in very little time. So please forgive me if I have made some mistakes. Right? Let us begin with the presentation. This is the title of today's lecture, that is women, sorry, in the shadow of climate change. Article. The title is just taken from one article which was published by United Nations. Right? So UN Chronicle is one of the uh, very popular publication where this entire article, or it can you can say in form of few chapters, this was published, and I have just used many of the informations which are given in this entire article. So let me tell you that the actual credit of today's lecture goes to this article, which was okay. See, take one any one person like you can say Shailesh Dodia or uh, the Dr. Shah from Valsad can just take the opportunity today. If there is any issues in this lecture, means in the uh, broadcasting, as there are so many issues running here as far as the internet connection is concerned. So I just request Dr. Brijesh Shah and Dr. Shailesh Doria. Okay, either of you just inform me that I am offline if any time from now. Okay, uh, you'll have to inform me on WhatsApp only because again there are many issues regarding the regular network here also. Okay, so just send a message that sir you are offline. Wait, will inform you, then you can continue your lecture. Right. So the climate change that is defined by United Nations like this. So it is a long-term changes in temperature is due to majority. The major reason for this climate change is the man-made activities. Okay, generally it could be due to some natural effects such as variations in solar cycle. But however, since 1800, okay, human activities have been the primary cause for this climate change. It is not first time that climate is changing in the history of our global globe, but this time the climate change is more due to human activities. Previously, there are certain evidences found that due to sudden climate change, many species we lost. We may have lost the entire uh, biosphere also. But this time, this climate change is due to anthropogenic activities. In many of these contexts, we can understand that there is difference, physical difference between man and woman. Okay. Even in certain areas, sociological differences are also there between male members and female members. So women are more vulnerable to the effects of climate change than men. We will just discuss all these things during this entire lecture. They face social, economic, political barriers. The things which are fact, I am just going to put them in front of you. See, people in rural areas, in developing countries, they are more vulnerable when they are highly dependent on local natural resources for life. Particularly in developing country, it is more they are more vulnerable. When we talk about the developed country, there are very few difference between the facilities enjoyed by male and female, right? Is it is my PPT visible or not?
No.
It's
No,
not
sir.
moving, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry. PPT is not moving. Hmm.
No, sir. Still not.
I know, I know. I'm
Even
just
I think.
let me share it again. Visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
yes, sir.
visible.
So this is the uh,
Yes, sir.
person
Now
who get the credit for activities from human being. It has played a major role more vulnerable compared to men, and we'll discuss these reasons. Okay. The person who are those who are charged with the responsibility to secure water, food, fuel for cooking, they face greatest challenges. Right? Secondly, when coupled with unequal access to resources and decision making processes, limited mobility places women in rural area in a position where they are more affected by climate change. And it is thus important to identify gender sensitive strategies to respond to the environmental and humanitarian crisis caused by climate. So, during this entire presentation, you will understand how women are more, uh, they require more focus during this changing climate. And the governments are also working on this. It is not that government is not working. Uh, Global warming is one of the cause for this climate change, and for global warming, the reasons are like greenhouse gases, okay, particularly uh, increasing levels of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and such gases, which are released by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuel, which is the actual cause for this global warming. Globe is increasing, and that is called global warming. I will check WhatsApp messages continuously because I don't know whether I am online or offline, right? So if I am offline, just send a WhatsApp message, okay, in the group. I am continuously observing those WhatsApp messages. Just otherwise, what happens? I just continue speaking and I'm not connected to you, that will be not better. Okay. So resulting extreme of the population has to move from the place where there is high flood. Due to that, family disruption occurs, which results into violence and major impacts on water quality and availability. Into women, children, disabled, and the elderly. But you can understand the children, disabled people, and elderly people, they are in our society, majority of the cases, they are being the responsibility of women. Okay, so woman has to um, take care of herself, has to take care of her children. If a elderly person is there in the family, that is the responsibility of female member of the family. And if any disabled is there, again that is the responsibility of the woman of the family. So whenever such natural calamities occurs, the most suffering organism is the housewife or woman, okay, of the family. So these are few facts regarding the climate change. Okay, due to climate change, rain increases, or sometimes there is a drought. Okay, wildfires, storms, cyclones. It is. I'm not. I don't want to establish that male members of the family or man is not affected at all. Right? It is affected. He himself is affected. He himself is worried. But female members, as they are having more responsibilities, they are affected far more than male members of the family, right? During these conditions, which I mentioned, like flood, drought, storm, cyclone, wildfires, during these conditions, food insecurities, okay, decreased water quality, even sometimes water supply get affected, sanitation is affected, air pollution increases. Due to that, population displacement, okay, and damaged infrastructure, people may have to contaminated water. Also, during that time, the number of rodents and animal host increases, okay, vectors increases, and which causes different problems like malnutrition, disease increases, reduces access to healthcare because in such conditions the agencies they may not provide proper healthcare facilities, right? Even due to air pollution, the respiration disease may increase. Okay, mental health and psychological effects may be found. Health services may get disrupted. Waterborne disease, that is again one more threat during such conditions. Vector-borne disease, that is again a very important aspect which should be addressed properly. And sometimes, due to sudden water flow or some airflow like storm or flood, direct injuries may occur, may be fatal or not. So these are the facts which one cannot avoid, right, during such conditions, and which kind of effects are found on women due to this climate change. One very important and very catchy sentence I just found from internet, that is, investing in the health of women is investing in the health of current and future generations. This is a very catchy sentence because when you are investing in a woman, particularly, just we are not talking about the entire lot of the uh, or entire population of the Indian women, or health of our female members, which are our family members, then that is going to be investment in current as well as the future generations. You can understand this sentence properly because if I take care of my mother, if I take care of my sister or my wife or even my daughter, in such case, that is not the uh, care. I'm not caring for only this current generation, but even future generation. If my wife is healthy, then my upcoming generation will be healthy, right? So very important sentence is this, and just I just saw it on internet somewhere. You know, just took it. So climate change is the most vulnerable for more than 2 billion people in low resource countries living below the poverty. You can calculate the number, 2 billion people. Okay, that is not a small number indeed. Women are adversely affected compared to men, and it is anticipated that without proper adaptation, this disparity will only worsen in the coming decades. If we don't understand this today, then in the coming decades, women will suffer more, right? So the injury from extreme weather, food insecurity, infectious disease, mental illness, and poor reproductive and maternal health. You can see the orange color is for female, blue color or this purple color or lavender color is for male. You can see in most of the cases. Okay, death, injury, food insecurity, right? Infectious disease, okay, mental illness. So in most of the cases, more compared to men. See this picture. Okay, this this website gets the credit of this picture. Okay, you can understand a lady and a baby girl, right? Child. Even in the background, ladies are there, and how they are. You can see the conditions they are facing, situations they have to face. increasing frequency of extreme heat events and rising average seasonal temperatures. When temperature increases, okay, and heat becomes a normal, new normal, what are the effects on human? We will discuss those effects. First of all, psychological and biological vulnerabilities we'll discuss. Women have higher vulnerability to infection and diseases because their very soon to the normal because sweating activity is more in male compared to female, and due to that female body remains little bit at high temperature compared to males, okay, and decreases effective radiative cooling. So due to less sweating, female bodies remain little bit heated, okay, and this heat increases production of vasoactive substances. Vasoactive substances means the substances which are um, flowing or running in the vessels, blood vessels, okay, which increases the blood viscosity and affects the endothelial cell functions. Endothelial cells, they are malfunctioned, which may alter the placental blood flow. Placenta, that you know, which connects the mother and the fetus. Fetus means the baby which is growing inside her uterus. So during this time when the heat body is heated, okay, due to these vasoactive substances, the production increases. That increases the blood viscosity, affects the endothelial cell function. Endothelial cell function. Endothelial is the our layer of the innermost layer of the uterus. Okay, and which may alter placental blood flow. Placenta which connects baby to the mother. Okay, all the nutrients and all the respiratory gases as well as all the excretory substances will be exchanged between mother and the fetus through this placenta only. And this placental blood flow which is affected. Okay, so now you can understand. Okay, that increases their propensity for hypertensive crisis and stillbirth. Sometimes stillbirth occurs due to such reasons also. Okay. Disruption in sequences of gene activity during organogenesis. You know the organogenesis is a very important process during the development of the fetus or embryo. When there is only one cell structure, which is generally known as zygote, which is produced due to the fertilization between male gamete and female gamete. That zygote single cell structure becomes the entire baby. Okay, during the that 270-day average uh, time span. That 9 months, during those 9 months, very high level of changes occurs. A single cell structure becomes billion and trillion cell structure, which is called as baby. A single cell doesn't possess eye or ears or nose or teeth or tongue or lips, anything. Even limbs are not present. Nothing is there. An entire All these systems, which we call digestive system or reproductive system or excretory system, all these systems they get developed. That process is called as organogenesis, and this climate change can affect this organogenesis. Okay, so you can understand these things now. Also, cultural and socio-economic vulnerability is they are also found because women has poor access to healthcare and cooling facilities. Reason may be different in different cases, but they have poor access to healthcare and cooling facilities. Okay, and culturally they are prescribed heavy clothing garments. See, this is one debatable thing, right? That women has to wear more clothes, right? Our society demands this. I am not talking anything regarding the any particular religion or particular caste. Just in general, we have seen these things in our society. So high clothing, heavy clothing, again, which can affect the heating process. You can understand now. I'll not discuss more on this topic. Exposure to the air pollution, okay, both indoors and outdoors, which is harmful for physical and mental health for women. How many house in our country has those facility of chimney, right? Nowadays, uh, many houses, above the stove, people just install those chimneys, which can just grab all the smoke and just releases it outside the house. But that is possible less than in less than 1% homes of our country, right? What about the rest 99%? All those women, they face, they have to just face this indoor pollution. Pollution is common for all men and women, but this indoor pollution, which is generally you can see chulas. You have heard about the chulas, and many of people who are living in the villages or tribal areas, they understand the flames and the fumes of this chula, and due to that the smoke develops, and that smoke which has to just inhale compulsorily by female members of the home, right, during the cooking. The combustion of fossil fuel, which just mentioned earlier, right, and that affects the air quality, and how will it affect the physiology and biology vulnerability of to the woman. Like women experience greater deposition of inhaled particles in their lungs. Secondly, to higher prevalence of anemia, women are more sensitive to toxicological exposure. Air pollution, just for example, carbon dioxide, can cross the placenta and impact the fetal growth during crucial development years, right? So wherever a person or a woman who is pregnant, she should be cared against the heat. She should have good facility and she should get proper fresh air. Okay, otherwise the placenta will going to be affected eventually. And the cultural and socio-economic vulnerabilities that the traditional indoor stores, just I was talking about the same. that chulas. Okay, cooking and heating utilize biomass. Biomass means which we generally people use those uh, twigs, right? Twigs of trees and sometimes those cow dung, right? Just it is called chana in Gujarati, which produces this burning of this biofuel produces the carbon monoxide, which is most dangerous gas, one of the most dangerous gas. Okay, other hydrocarbons and particulate matters are produced. Okay, which most of the cases the responsibility for cooking is up to on the female member of the family. That's why I'm talking this. Women generally spend more time in her home and thus are more affected because the household pollution that is going to affect more to female member because male members generally in general, okay, they go for the to earn money. Okay, so in most of the time from we can calculate 24 hours. Out of these 24 hours, male member is going to be outside the home at least for 12 hours, while female member you can compare it. Okay. This is the one of the picture from Bangladesh, and this is not the case of Bangladesh only. In most of the developing countries or underdeveloped countries, this is the scene when there is a very heavy rain condition or flood condition. So hurricanes, flooding, wildfires, during which these are the all are the natural disasters. But these natural disasters may have the reason behind it. That is the anthropogenic activity, like human beings are cutting the forest, they are burning more fossil fuel, and due to the secondary effect of these activities of human being, more hurricanes or more flooding or more wildfires are occurring today. Okay. Physiological or biologically, we can say women of all ages are more likely to experience dietary deficiency, leading to poor physical health, vulnerability to the resource shortages, and insuring from catastrophes. Okay. Poor baseline nutritional status and physical health may prevent escape and survival in acute phase of disasters. And there is an acute phase of disasters, which kind of cultural and socio-economic vulnerabilities will be found. We'll see. Women have unequal access to the social goods. If you believe or not, these are the facts. See, in educated families, we can say the difference between woman and men may be narrow. Okay, the availability of, but in most of the families in our country or even countries of other countries of our uh, Asian neighbors, right? We can talk about the countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or even South African countries. Women have less access to homebound caring for children and elderly people. Poor, single, elderly women, adults and girls, and women with disabilities are often at greatest risk of for abuse. And when there is a such climatic disaster occurred, at that time woman faces such more cases of abuse. Okay, the abuse may be economic abuse or physical abuse or sexual abuse or psychological abuse. But generally, people do not say they do not care for women. They just blame women for everything. That is our society. Contribute to the food insecurities. During climate change, due to climate change, such things occur where women are, we can say, one kind of mindset where she will remain hungry if there is less food available in the home. She'll say, I am not hungry today. I have no hunger today. You all just eat. Okay. She'll just drink a glass of water and will sleep. That is the nature of a woman, particularly in our country, right? In our society. But that can cause her health, adverse health, that can cause adverse health, adverse effect to her health, right? Prioritize food provision to children and adult males that we just discussed. In low income countries, women produce between 60 to 80% of all food because in countries like Indian subcontinental countries, particularly female are working as we can say khet mazdoor. Okay, when you just go to the any villages and in surroundings, you can see female are working the entire day. Okay, so for livelihood also as well as the nutritional status are threatened when climatic conditions negatively impact the agricultural yields. When there is a drought, when there is a flood or cyclone or anything like that, which is called natural calamity, during which the most suffering person is to be female person, right? Because they are more working more than male, and if they cannot earn, they could survive. Less than 10% of female farmers are landowners. Listen, you see, whichever female members are working in the farms to produce different things for us like food and everything. Out of them, only less than 10% female members are landowners. Rest of all, they are workers. They are working for someone else. Right? And barely 2% of them have proper paperwork for their land. So they are as good as slaves. Therefore, women suffer on account of their relative lack of control over farmlands and nutritional securities. See the pathetic condition of this Dadima, right? You can just see the quality of water which is just dropping from her hands, right, from her palms. See, she has to drink such water. And it is not very uncommon. It is very common in certain areas of our country. Shifting rainfall, increasing rates of evaporation led to water insecurity and risk of waterborne disease. Waterborne disease that all you know. Okay. Water insecurity that you all know. Just see the water insecurity of this female member of our country. This is just an example. Thousands or lakhs of female members or people will have to drink such water. Well, just those camels have fulfilled their thirst from the same resource. She is drinking the water, right? Here you can say waterborne disease. They may affect this female or all the females which are in the surroundings, right? Dehydration, one of the major things found in pregnant women. Okay, during the pregnancy, if dehydration occurs, that results in decreased uterine blood flow and it associated with preterm labor. Okay, preterm labor. So when there is a dehydration, the female may not carry longer. Okay, so preterm labor pain may occur and premature baby birth may occur. Infection in pregnancy leads to poor maternal and neonatal outcomes. Okay, great. You can understand. We'll not discuss it more because already discussed uh, in past. Traditionally, women have the household role of providing water for the family. Water scarcity equates to more time spent harvesting water and less time spent on other activities of livelihood such as economy. Use up to 85% of the woman's daily energy. Whatever she eats, 85% of the energy will be used up to just fetch the water from the source which is available. Sometimes the source may be available few kilometers away, right? That you all are aware of these things. And traveling long distances to collect water places women at risk for physical abuse and harm also. Okay, we have seen such things in uh, movies, okay, and at other places where women generally they face such kind of physical abuse events or sometimes they are harmed by some people when they are moving for the water collection conditions. Just want to show the how the pregnant women or other women they face during such natural calamities, right? Changes in temperature, precipitation, and ecology are altering the geographic distribution of vector-borne disease. Vector-borne disease means the disease which are caused by some organisms, like we can say malaria, okay, chikungunya. They are vector-borne disease because they are caused like malaria is caused by plasmodium. Okay, but it is uh, the female anopheles is the carrier, right, for that. So such diseases are called vector-borne disease. And during these changes in temperature condition or precipitation means small rain, or the changes the geographical distribution. Okay, sometimes some things which are found in a particular area only, some disease due to such conditions, it may increase its area. Okay, so pregnant women have, as we said, increased susceptibility to the body temperature remains little bit more compared to male. Okay, so these are the reasons which attracts the uh, mosquitoes towards her. You may have not heard these things previously. And increase peripheral blood flow. Due to that, the peripheral blood flow in this outer surface area, okay, that increases, and the heat from which allows mosquito to locate host. So this is very unique thing where females are more susceptible or more vulnerable to these mosquito bites compared to male. Okay, due to you can understand, you may have heard about the progesterone and estrogen and other hormones. Okay, due to such imbalance, which is actually required during the pregnancy. Okay, so we cannot say imbalance, but due to such changes in the immune power of female member or pregnancy decreases. Okay, again, that is of viremia and parasitemia. So the attack of viruses or parasites may affect more to such a woman compared to other. Culturally, when we talk, the women spend more time around the house performing domestic tasks, which places them in close proximity to mosquito building sites. There are so many tasks which female has to perform in her home, where the more mosquito breeding sites may be possible there, and again that can uh, attract the more mosquitoes. Results in trapped populations. See, when lack of basic sanitation and health services, okay, compound health issues for refugees and migrants. You all are aware that during the conditions, war conditions, other conditions, people migrate. They become refugee in other countries, and when they are migrants or refugees, they have less access to the health services and sanitation services. Okay. Sometimes forced migration as a result of environmental changes or disasters in physiological and mentally stressful, leading to poor health outcomes. Women whose partners travel frequently. Sometimes it is also observed by scientists and social workers that the the woman whose partner is traveling frequently is at a higher risk of HIV infection. Okay. Culturally, when we talk, the marriage is a key driver for internal migration of women. As we all know, women generally migrate from her maternal home, right, to her in-laws home. So that is one kind of migration. Okay, when we are talking about the effects, we should also consider this thing also. Uh, Again, low education is a big risk factor. See, in the cities or urban areas, female generally they get chances of getting more education. Nowadays, in even rural areas, people now they are considering their female child for the education also. But it is not a overall scenario, right? In few patches it is available. The female get the chances of education, otherwise the low education, and that is the big risk factor for female. Women have fewer employment opportunities nowadays in our country. There are certain provisions where female members get equal opportunity, but overall, we are talking overall that women have fewer employment opportunities and therefore are unable to migrate into economically viable and less environmentally vulnerable regions. Just become trapped. Right? Women who do migrate are still faced with the direct pressure of caring for children. If a couple is there, they have children, and if female member get job in other city or other area, right? Though, so the carrying their children will be the responsibility of female member. That is generally these things are found generally in our society. Migration places women at a risk for human trafficking also. Okay, that is again a big threat. Socioeconomic impact of climate change and women. Let us talk about the socioeconomic other impacts like social impacts of more prolonged droughts, reduces food production, and some weather events are uh, disproportionately felt by women. The world's poorest countries, 1.5 billion women living on less than $1 per day. Now you can say $1 means we can say 85 rupees per day. The entire day she has to just survive in such a small amount. Worldwide, women aged 25 to 34 are 25% more likely than men to live in extreme poverty. Women are primarily the gatherers of water, food, and fuel, and they dominate uh, subsistence, farming, caregiving, and cleaning. These duties are more less time. I will not discuss much things. Okay, we'll move little bit faster. Women are primary dependents on natural conflict related sexual violence, migration and displacement, women's role in agriculture, extreme weather event. Already we have discussed these things, right? We'll just go through one or two examples are very important, which will going to shock you. Okay, I will discuss only that example. Otherwise, I will just move on the slides. It is gender-based violence. Just in this slide, that example I was just wanted to discuss was that is here in the second para. The case of water vials in rural Maharashtra. Okay, that is again a very shocking thing. That shows yet another link between climate change and an increase in women's exploitation. To address this problem of water scarcity arising from droughts and improper water connectivity, the man of village start getting more wives. Okay, what is the role of that new wife? Just to make sure that water is available in this home. See, where the role of these wives is only to make sure that there is water in the house. Women from the conflicts related to sexual violence, okay, they face very much uh, problems like domestic violence, okay, that is very common, okay. See, nowadays there are so many uh, laws in our country which is going to protect all the female members of our country. But awareness is also required, right? When it comes to a proper awareness, then these things will reduce. Okay, on the contrary, the climate is playing its role. It is just developing such adverse conditions uh, more and more. So we'll have to balance, right? The report from Bihar that studying the impact on women in the aftermath of floods finds increased incidence of domestic violence, high instances of trafficking in the name of marriage, increased performance for male children, and instances of abuse in flood relief camps. So, women, आखिर में कौन आएगा? Only female members. Migration and displacement. The third point that climate change is causing people to migrate and become displaced from their homes and communities. Women may be more vulnerable to the effects of displacement as they may face increased risk of violence and exploitation. Displacement can also disrupt women's social and economic networks, making it more difficult for them to access resources and supports. I think discuss it again. But the case study, a study of a tea plantation in Darjeeling, West Bengal, finds that in the last few years, the extensive use of fertilizers in the production of tea has severely affected female tea workers. See, eventually the female is the affected person. Okay, and this is the last slide of my presentation. that climate change is increasing the frequency and severity of extreme weather events such as floods and droughts. Women are often more vulnerable to the effects of these events due to their social and economic status. So, these things which with this I will conclude this lecture. Mm, hope I had tried to just wake up all of you just in case of problem which is going to be faced or which are going to be faced by women, right?
Yes, sir.
Particularly in case of natural disaster or man-made disaster. You have already seen these current problems due to those war conditions where female they are having a big issues, right? So now this session is open for the discussion. I'm not going to answer any question, right? I would rather suggest you people to discuss one or two important aspect of this very unique and worldwide problem. Okay, so or if you are not able to discuss, then just ask a few questions if you have anything in your mind. The session is open. The platform is open for questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, definitely you have raised a very important issue, generally, which is remaining neglected. And the problem, whatever the woman is facing, it is directly affecting the children also.
Yes, children,
If
elderly person, and some person who is having any deficiency
yes,
for
yes,
that.
definitely. But women, if they are in problem, then definitely the next generation, because they are the only one who are looking after the next generation. So the children definitely, which are going to be our future, they are getting more affected. So definitely steps must be taken to ensure their safety and their
See,
well-being.
we cannot say that government is not doing anything. Government has done many things. Okay, they what government can do? They can provide you good laws. Okay, they can provide you good infrastructure. Sorry,
Thank you, sir, for this very
again,
informative lecture.
is- excuse me. There was again a network issue here. Can you repeat your question, Dr. Bridges?
No, sir, I was just thanking you.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you very much, Bridges. If you have no queries or no questions, then we can conclude now.
Sir, actually, we were not able to listen to your answer, whatever you were telling about the steps about the government has taken.
Yeah,
And
just I am just repeating because I was just offline at that time. I got the message that you are offline. So I'll repeat that. I'm back again. I'm back again. So government has done I'm just, sir, I'm just not getting the connection properly. We'll try from some other device. Let me try. Yes, I'm here now.
Sir, you are audible and you are visible also. Sir, you are muted.
I just entered the room from my cell phone only now because there are so many issues with the networking here. So, repeating that thing again, last time, the government has taken so many steps. It has done amendments to protect the women, but eventually the society has to respond properly. Okay, and all the male members of the society, they should understand the importance of female, that she is going to give you the next generation. If your partner, female partner, is not healthy, then don't expect that your next generation is to be healthy, right? The health is not related only to the physical health. It must be the social health, mental health, psychological health, everything. So if the society will understand these things, right? But whenever there is a climate change, the female are going to suffer more. So to just address these issues, we'll have to address the climate change also, right? The issues of climate change also. And overall, we can say climate is not going to affect only women. It is also going to affect us also, right? So in the refresher course of environmental studies, we can just start all of us. They are aware of these things. We are using less plastic. We are using less fossil fuel. We are using less electricity also. When that is needed, we use it. Otherwise, we generally do not. Uh, uh, we can say we are not wasting anything, but we will have to these convince other people also for the same, that we can just reduce the effects of climate change, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'll just thank you all because the test is already over, right? Which is the most important part of this refresher course. All of you may have finished their test also, and after that
No,
test
sir.
is already done, and you are still listening to a resource person, that is a great thing.
No, sir, the test has not
No,
yet
sir.
done.
Taste is not given.
It has
Okay,
opened, but we have to complete by it tomorrow.
no issue, no issue, no issue. So let us conclude, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nainesh Modi. So
Yes,
today,
sir.
that lecture taken by Dr. Nainesh Modi at the schedule that Dr. Professor Vikrant Jain from IIT Gandhinagar, those who have to take about the lectures on the river and rivers management. But some unavoidable circumstances and due to illness is not joined with us. So at the last moment, were one of the coordinator and my good friend and my colleague, Dr. Nainesh Modi, have to join this. And I hope that you understood the content of the particular topic, woman under the shadow of climate. So these are the things where the most of the factors which are impact on the climate, but at social sites and others way. So one of the major role of the woman. So I hope that you are all understand. And mostly in the end of the session of all these particular refresher courses. So mostly the test assignments, your some of these submissions, and also that some lectures which I directly interact with you because we are all in this online mode. Very few lectures out of them which are in live session, and during this live session lectures, mostly the speakers speaks and you listen to all this and you have some content of these particularly topics. So we decided that mostly in tomorrow session that we are interact with all and we put this content of our talk approximately 3 minutes per participants, that we decide that you have to go for your some kind of this talk where merits and demerits of the some invasive plant, or maybe recently the government of Gujarat, those who have general resolution about the plantation, or now the not planted or any kind of in nursery of the cornocarpus. So I think that the discussion regarding to this plant and this environment condition. So hope that 77 participants, and each participants we give 3 minutes for it. So you have to introduce yourself, where you're coming from, and also your working area, and about your research interest, and also some merits, demerits regarding with this particularly content that you have to mention. And hope that some forest official, I am requesting them that they are present in it this session, and the some points regarding to our environmental conditions, because generally we planted many plants, but after that the condition where the invasive plant is there, or maybe some kind of plant helpful or harmful. So this kind of issues in a major role play in this biotic factors too. So hope that some discussion point of view and interaction with all the participants, their views that we have to know, and hope that this tomorrow session will be open for all those this kind of content too. Okay, so I'm hopeful that you are all join in time. So whatever the content and all those things that we are uh, message you in our common group of HRDC Refresher Course Life Sciences. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you very much.
ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર સાહેબ આપનું.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર
Thank you,
સર.
sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you,
great day.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
થેન્ક યુ સર, થેન્ક યુ.